All right, let's do this.
No speaking
No
English.
speaking English, por favor.
Okay.
Biatch. You gonna do the same light stuff? When it goes green, we talk.
Well, after you see our intro end, we talk.
Ah. He had 4.
Yes. 8 minutes of commercials, 13 minutes of segment. That gets us at exactly 58. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
time out. So green means go. Blue means we can talk.
Because we also got to think we got or are we
And then-
counting this? No, the intro is 33
And then
seconds. So
you're
I
gonna
mean,
start flashing at when, like at the 30-second to shutdown mark, or? Okay, thank you. All right.
the intro is 33 seconds. So I think so. Yeah, 33.
Yeah.
Oh, we're putting it on TV. You didn't. You didn't get to put it on the Damn. Son of a bitch, Clyde.
You guys are talking.
I worked so hard on that.
It's great. So will it go on YouTube though?
How'd you
Or
do
you
it
say
last
not at
time
all?
from the drive?
I'm just asking a question. I'm not trying to piss anybody off.
Oh, because we didn't have any sound on that.
But you did a great job.
So sad.
If I give you
Actually, I
one,
made
would
my
that make
stream
you feel
starts
better?
soon banner a little crooked. I just realized that.
It kind of is left to right. I had noticed that till now.
So I did
See,
just.
you'll fix that for next time. There you go.
I probably won't.
You know, it actually goes with us.
Yeah.
I like it.
I almost actually
Look
did
at
it like diagonal across our logo, but then I was like, you got to see the Benchwarmers Basement Banter logo.
Yeah, I like it, dude. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's do this. All right, we're ready, tech guy. Well, hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Benchwarmers Basement Banter. Guess what's right around the corner?
Football.
It's football season, buddy. Yeah.
We did our AFC last week. It's
We
time
did.
to get the teams that really matter, and that's the NFC.
Wait a second. Right here, buddy, who just won the Super Bowl. That's 2 years back to back.
It's
And look, he's even in Chiefs colors. Jason Kelsey. They matter.
well,
see?
seeing as we haven't won a whole lot of those Super Bowls on our side here in a while.
It's been a few years.
I think the last time was Tom Brady.
For the
Bucks.
NFC. I was talking Packers. Yeah, you're right. The Bucks. Yeah, and that they throttled the Chiefs. Thanks to kick me in the nads. Good call.
Yep.
So first of all, I'm Woody.
I'm Rogers.
Yep. We are thankful to Wabash TV again for giving us this beautiful studio. We have a YouTube channel, Benchwarmers Basement Banner.
Yes.
Look at the
we are
bobblehead.
currently at 465 subscribers. Hopefully by the time this airs on TV,
Yes.
we'll be much higher than that.
That'd be
We're getting
great.
dangerously close to 500.
Yep.
We are planning on doing giveaways when we get to that 500. Maybe get a little bit of swag with our T-shirts.
Absolutely. Give you guys some love. Because, hey.
Maybe
you've
one of
loved
these
us,
days
the
we might
guys
even
here.
give one of these bobbleheads away.
Ooh, we should
But I
probably
doubt it.
talk to my wife about that. She went through a lot of trouble to get that thing here. So, yeah, we'll consult with her on that one. And thank you, honey. It's beautiful. It is.
Well,
If
not
only
that one, just like a different one. We'll make one.
There
you
we
know?
go. If only we looked as handsome as our bobbleheads.
That's fair.
I think that's gone.
I like
But
how it did make my head bigger than yours, though. And that's accurate.
that's a lot of brain power. You guys
lot
are
of
going to
brain
hear it. It's coming your way, brain power. So let's get started here. We're going to go division by division, break it down with, we're going to give the way we think the standings are going to go and the over-under. Again.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to try to not say over for every team. Like, it's hard.
Well,
Like I said, it's hard for one thing when you talk about these teams not to talk about basically just the quarterback.
Vegas
They're
is
gone.
very good at setting these odds.
They
so
are.
Some
they
of these
are,
will
yeah.
go under.
Like, I guess I can't pick push on a lot of these like I would like to do.
Nope.
No,
Not when they're half games.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ties, does that count? Not quite. No. So we're going to start in the East, get geographical, East to West. Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
Look at us go. I got first place, the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Well, there's no Jason Kelsey.
Reppin', that is true, but
No.
it's okay.
Is that going to hurt the tush push?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be very ineffective now without Kelsey, but
I don't think it is.
I think, well, with Hurts, he's
I
like
think it's
a
going to be not
bodybuilder
as
quarterback.
effective, but I think it's still going to
Well,
be
why
effective.
does that I think it's going to be a little less effective is because also they have Barkley now, and I think that might take away. And honestly, for Hurts' well-being, I really think they might get away from that. I mean, they ran it an absurd amount. The NFL might ban it too.
It was,
They're going to have no problem scoring when they get.
why would they ban it though? Because it doesn't work for other teams.
Well, that's the
not their
thing.
fault.
It's like and that's what he even talked about
Yes.
on it. It's like, what's your grounds for banning it? Because we're so good at illegal play that no one else can figure it out. Like put some nose tackles up there. Like you know, no one figured it out. On the record, I don't think it should be banned. They say player safety, all this garbage, but this is
The
football.
only person getting hurt retired.
Yeah, right. And he made it till he was what, 36?
Yeah.
And see. So yeah, enough tush push. Without it, the Eagles are going to soar. I think their GM Howie, I think Roseman is his last name. I think he went out and his goal was to make a super team that Nick Sirianni, their head coach, can't ruin. Good luck, Howie, because he did a good job running into this last year.
Yeah.
I'm not a Nick Sirianni guy. I think he's an arrogant, pompous. Do we have a bleep button? I probably better not go there. Yeah. Not a big fan of him, but they brought in Vic Fangio, who's been around for forever, to coach the D. Kellen Moore is their new offensive coordinator. And I do not foresee them having a late season collapse like last year. Basically, Sirianni just has to be a cheerleader, not get in the way.
Well, and they much bolstered their their secondary.
Their roster as a whole. But yeah, secondary.
Their secondary
That was
they
their
made
weakness.
significantly better.
Yeah. They brought in senior C.J. Gardner-Johnson. The draft, oh my gosh, they nailed the draft. They got Mitchell.
Quinyon Mitchell
Yeah,
and
and
Cooper
your
DeJean.
guy.
Cooper
There you
DeJean.
go, Cooper DeJean.
He should have been a Packer.
Iowa.
He should have been a Packer.
Yeah, check it out. We made 0 for 7 and 0 for whatever
We had
picks.
11 picks, and I didn't get a single one of them.
But, there's a lot of players out there. Yeah, I'll give it to you. There's a lot
Yeah.
of variance. But, they bolstered their secondary, brought in Brandon Graham off the edge. Offensively, they brought in Saquon. I'm not a huge Barkley guy, but this is the best O-line he's going to run behind. It stinks Kelsey retiring, especially going out.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not Eagles fan, but I really big Jason Kelsey guy.
Best center in
you
the
can
league,
see
man.
Here. Absolutely. I'm a Chiefs fan, but Jason's my favorite Kelsey brother. It tells you anything.
Yeah.
So it's going to hurt losing him, but they still bring back most of the line. They're moving guys around on it. There's still talent there. It's going to be a good line. It's better than what he ran behind in New York. Hurts, if he can be healthy all year. Last year, he fought injuries all year.
Well, yeah.
He was not the same.
Maybe a bunch of tush pushes over and over.
Well,
was
yeah,
it?
maybe got hit in the head or something too much. But
Yeah.
he is actually. He's built like a brick house, but he's
Well,
not
anyway,
on the.
where's the extra padding around
Yeah.
his middle section area?
I was gonna say he's not on the bigger side of QBs.
Yeah.
That could be an issue down the road for him, but health out of him. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, they are loaded on offense, like you'd address their biggest weakness, secondary.
Yeah, and they added 3 corners that I think at least 2 of those guys are going to be starting immediately.
Yep. Who else? Devin White. They brought him in.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay. Heck of a linebacker. They really revamped the defense. Jason Kelsey on their podcast talks about his brilliance, like the way he studies the cap, does it. He rebuilt this team defensively. I think on paper, we'll see if it translates. Like I said, Nick Sirianni is still the head coach. We'll see where that goes. But I think on paper, they're going to be amazing. Where'd my hammer? Here we go. It's my first hammer smash. Hit me over.
Smashing the over on 10.5.
10.5. Yep, I think they are. I think they're going over. What do you got?
I want to take the under, but just barely. I think they'll win
Ooh.
10. I think they'll win 10.
Okay.
But
10
I
and 7 is what that'd be.
Yes, 10 and 7. But I just don't think they're going to quite get there because they do have to play
they
the
get to play.
Cowboys.
They get to play the Commanders and the Giants. I feel like that's going to pad the win total.
You know what?
I don't think
the
they have a
Commanders
schedule.
seem to always manage to snag one.
That's fair. They have. Yeah, I don't know how.
They
There's no
just
rationale
always
for it,
manage to
but yeah.
steal one.
Yeah.
And
that's
if there's
fair.
anything that I learned from the Eagles last season,
Yeah.
they're good at letting one slip away.
Yeah, that's fair. Like the last 8 games of the season.
Yeah,
They did.
they're good at
All
letting one
happened-
slip away.
They went to Arrowhead, and Sirianni did that wave, being total cocky something. And after that, their play went downhill.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it was his fault, but it was his fault. So, anyway.
I'm going to say that they win that division. They
Yeah,
win 10 games.
okay. So we both got them first.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't think they'll get there as far as the over on 10.5, which
right.
kind of
Another
tells
bold call,
my hand
Cotton.
a little bit on
The
the rest of like my over for Dallas, for example.
Okay, so what you got? You got Cowboys second too?
I've got them at second.
What you got for them?
I've got them going under
Agreed.
the
Agreed.
10.5 wins.
Yep.
I think that
That's the
they'll
same
be
line.
either a 9-8 or a 10-7 team as well.
I think they're going to take a step back. I really do. Because last year, they won 12 games, I think, last year, and they got throttled by your pack in the playoffs.
Yeah, you know who else got throttled by that pack?
Are you Chiefs? So
Yeah.
were you going? I thought that was
Yeah.
not throttled. That was a squeaker. You watch it, buddy. Jordan Love looked amazing in that.
You know what that was?
No.
That was an L.
For luck? Yeah, there you go.
No,
L for
for
luck.
love.
I love it. All right, so we got the Cowboys. I agree with the under. Jerry Jones, what are you doing? Like he said, we're going all in. We were right there. Nothing. This is like the Blues one, like poking,
Hey.
like.
They're going to feed Zeke again.
I'm sorry, they brought Zeke back.
Yeah.
5 years past his prime, but he's back. Tony
Well,
Pollard's
you know.
gone. We'll see how this is another
Who's going
bold
to carry all
strategy.
this that workload now?
Yeah, that's a good question. What did Rico, Uncle Rico?
Rico?
Yeah, Dwindle, is that the backup back? I think in Dallas. I'm gonna say he's there. Ends up getting more carries than Zeke.
Well, I don't think that Zeke will get the 30 carries.
He's
game
not.
he used
He's
to.
not. He's not the same player
You're lucky
he
to get
was.
to 20 carries.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's going to be in that 12 to 15 range carries a game.
Last year with the Pats, he averaged like 3 yards a carry. Like it was, yeah. Rico.
Hey, maybe they're going to run with Trey Lance.
I forgot about that.
Maybe he won't be broken.
Yeah, there you go. Put him at running Wildcat.
There you go.
Days. Get creative.
Don't
see it
bit
happening.
of Taysom Hill situation.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Since Trey Lance hasn't been able to throw a ball since like 2020.
I think they found out he can't throw one. Never could throw one. So that North Dakota State magic ran out there. But yeah, they've got CeeDee Lamb receiving core. Braden Cooks, like not a whole lot else. Like CD had an amazing year last year. Can he replicate that? Like can Dak carry the team? Like I don't think they're as deep as they have been in the past. Defensively, they brought in Eric Kendricks, pretty good linebacker. They didn't do much else. Like they lost. Oh, I forgot on offense. Gallup's gone too. Pollard's gone. Tyron Smith, who's been there for forever, tackle.
Hey,
gone.
They got their secret weapon on defense back. Mister, give up 1,000 yards.
Yeah. It's like that is the definition of a home run corner right there. Yeah. He might lead the league in picks and also touchdowns allowed.
Yep.
So but Diggs is back. The other Diggs. So we'll see. But I think their offseason was very underwhelming. The bottom of this division, I really didn't know between the Washington Commandos and the Giants. Flip a coin. Their win total's the same, 6.5.
Yeah.
I had the Commanders. I think they have a little higher ceiling. I had them third. I had them under, though. And I had the Giants fourth and under as well. So
I'm hammering that over for the Commanders.
Are you really?
I'm hammering that over.
Got to respect the hammer but on the Commanders. So.
I am.
Jaden Daniels believer
Well,
here.
if you think about it, I took the under on both of your top two teams there.
Don't apply this much logic. I see where you're going with this. I do.
But guess who plays all those teams and also plays the Giants twice?
Yeah, that's
Someone's
got
to be over.
Someone's got to. Yep.
No, I think it's going to be the Commanders.
See, this is this brilliant look ahead foresight you've got.
I think
I'm just like over
the Commanders. They don't win. They don't have a winning season. They don't make the playoffs.
Are you thinking they barely like 7?
I think they're going to go 7-10.
Squeak by.
I think they're going to go 7-10.
Well, I'm going to go under for one reason alone is we saw last year what happens in Carolina when you don't protect your rookie quarterback. Now, I don't think it's going to go as bad. Their O-line is very shoddy. I think this is going to be a big welcome to the NFL year for Jaden Daniels. I believe in his talent, but they didn't really build a line around him like I think they needed to do. And defensively, nothing that is real special there. I guess they did bring in Eckler on offense, running back.
Well, I mean, Kingsbury made. He made the short guy in Arizona. He made Kyle look like a good quarterback for a season.
Yeah, Kingsbury resume, the quarterbacks he's worked with is impressive. What's not is his longevity to last anywhere.
Well, I only need 1 year for him to hit that.
You just need 7 wins. You don't even need a good year. You just need backdoor cover, like enough games, they come back win. Yeah, their team just doesn't really impress me. They did bring in Dante Fowler Jr. off the edge, Dorrance Armstrong. They brought in a few pieces defensively, but I just don't think it's going to be enough, especially his rookie season. So I've got them going under the G-Men. I've got them under. Daniel Jones is still their quarterback. That's all I got to say there.
I've got 2 words for the G-Men. dumpster fire. Like that team might win 4 games.
There's one guy I'm excited. That's Malik Neighbors, and Drew Lock is there. I'd love to see him eventually start for him. I love Drew Lock. Mizzou kid, not realistic. I like him. So yeah, I've got them under. They brought in Brian Burns on defense. There's nothing special there.
I've got them 4-13.
I'll say 5-12 for that. Right, but I'm in the same ballpark. What matters is we're under on both those two teams.
No.
I'm sorry, I'm under on both those teams. You're over, but we've got the order the same.
Yes.
There we go. So,
but yeah, about runs us out of time. I think that we're gonna have to hit the break, and then we'll come back with the South.
That's hey, I like it. We'll be back. Thank
you. If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank. We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online banking, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
When a Fairfield fire truck needs a repair, Cam's there to keep things rolling. And as part of the volunteer fire department, Justin's looking out for Cam and all of Fairfield. Everyone supports each other, and Wayne White Electric Cooperative supports them all with safe, reliable power for every one of our members. It's why REMCs exist, and together, it all works.
Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Cousins up. All right. And we're back. It's time to go to the South, and I'm quite passionate about who I've got number one here.
Is it Captain Kirk?
I'm gonna do Adeline proud with this hammer. Thank you, sweetheart, for letting me use it. That's for Captain Kirk, buddy. Kirk Cousins. Falcons, hammer that. 9.5.
However,
over.
Did you look? How many primetime games do they have?
I don't want to talk about that. I'm not here to talk about the past. I'm here to talk about the future.
How many primetime games do they have? It's important.
All right, here's my rant. Now, partially, I did watch.
Pull up that Falcons schedule.
You know what? Forget the schedule. I did partially fall in love with this guy watching the 2022, the Netflix special on the quarterbacks.
Okay.
With him, Mahomes. The dude, he puts his all out there. He's a family man, devoted Christian guy.
You know that guy's swimming in Cole's cash.
That's fair. Yeah, you see what he wears. I'm good with that. Hey, I'm about the same demographic. I shop there too. But I'll tell you what, you saw what he put in each and every week. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he doubles his playoff win total. I can't even not laugh and say that this year. Don't look it up. It's not very impressive. But that is my fanboy talking. Now, the actual analytical part, yeah, that would be 2. He's won one career playoff game until now. Now, yes, this is a little risky. We're talking about a 35-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles injury. I'll give you that. But their head coach, they brought in from L.A., Raheem Morris. He brought with him Zach Robinson, okay? That guy comes from the Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. Yeah.
Okay, so
Kevin O'Connell is a part of that too. Head coach, Minnesota. The system is going to be, it's not going to be a big adjustment for him. Weapons they have there. Oh my goodness. Drake London. How many first-round picks have they spent on offense? Drake London. They still have a guy named Kyle Pitts there.
Yeah.
Kirk, this might be more impressive than winning a playoff game. He might make Kyle Pitts relevant. What would you think of that? Yes.
You mean like he might catch touchdowns,
like maybe more than
American
one.
soil.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, and he might get yards too this year. He didn't do that last year.
Okay, well, I think he's still only caught like one touchdown ever, and it was in London.
He's just getting warmed up. Okay, he had a few last year. It was came with 10-yard games, but irregardless, he's a very talented player. Behong Robinson, Arthur Smith's out of there, so they might give their best running back the ball.
They lost Desmond Ridder.
Crazy. He made quite the impact on the organization, where they not only had to go out and spend big money on a free agent quarterback, they also had to draft one in the first round.
In the top 10 picks.
Number 8.
Yeah.
Didn't get that. I mean,
neither did Captain Kirk.
Man. So, like I was saying, with this win total, there's a pretty good insurance policy there. If my 2 minutes of hyping up Kirk Cousins goes south, I believe in him.
I'm taking the under.
Under? Really?
The under.
Really?
10's a lot. 10's a lot.
10 and 7 is very feasible.
How many teams they won?
But look at this division they're in. Look at the division they're in. They won 8 games with Desmond Ridder at quarterback.
They were in the same division last year. They sucked last year, too.
They had Desmond Ridder at quarterback.
That's fair.
8 wins with Desmond Ridder. You had Kirk Cousins. I mean, if there isn't the red zone turnover total he had, Ridder, so many boneheaded plays, you take that out, that easily flips, I think, 2-3 games.
Fair.
And the division still stinks. I'm sorry, I think this is the worst division in football. I mean, we'll get to the rest of it. I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll give him a shout out. Come on. But you really think they're going under?
I think they're going under, and this is why.
The defense?
No.
Oh, I was going to say it's not great.
Because the Bucks are going over, and they're going to take 2 L's to that team.
Ooh, man, the disrespect for Captain Kirk. Ooh. You Baker believer, the Bake Show?
I am. I think Baker Mayfield looked outstanding last year.
He did.
And I think he's just going to continue to improve, and I think that Buccaneers team is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I have them actually going over to at 9-8. I've got Atlanta 10-7, maybe 11-6. But I've got them second. Tampa Bay.
The Bucks winning that division at 10-7.
I figured that's where you were at. You're a big Bucks believer.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bake Show, he got paid though. You think he's still going to come out motivated, slinging?
I do.
You think their second half will carry over? So they look good in the playoffs.
He woke up in the morning feeling dangerous.
I like that. Woke up, took one of those, those peas, and he felt great.
He's feeling dangerous.
Yeah, all right. I mean, they do roll back Evans, Godwin, like they've got him weapons. They bring back their D-core. I mean, they lost Carlton Davis, Devin White, Shaquille Barrett, but these guys were aging. Carlton Davis went to Detroit. He's still, pretty good player.
You don't really know who's going to run the ball for him.
Fair.
You're
just 100% on Baker, aren't you?
Baker's
It's just
Baker's going to do it.
Okay.
He's got Mike Evans and he's got Godwin. That's all he needs.
That's all he needs. Baker had a great second half.
You got a gunslinger and 2 runners.
Yeah. Rashad White. That's the running back. Couldn't think of his name. He was a touchdown machine. I don't remember him being the most efficient, though.
No.
But they've got a solid O-line, I believe.
You know what this team reminds me of?
This ought to be good.
That Matty Ice ran Falcons team. That had Roddy White and
Julio in his
Julio
prime.
Jones. And who's the third one? There was a third one in there.
Oh, my gosh. I'd have to think about that one. But
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Tony
Well,
G.
Two,
They had Tony G in there.
Yeah. For a few, that was the very end of his career. Wasn't prime, but yeah. I mean, I could see they did win the division last year. What were they, 9-8 last year? I think they barely, because I think that came down to the last week. Falcons.
I'm asking them to win one more game.
So, all right, I could see it. I'm not ripping it. I'm a Kirk believer. I think with that system Atlanta has in place, I do wish they would have done something crazy like, maybe got an edge rusher in the draft like Dallas Turner. He's looked amazing.
Yeah.
Minnesota minicamp. If they would have shored up a few more pieces defensively, I'd feel even more confident about it.
Who needs defense when you're putting up 40?
Just put up 40. That's all you got to do. Last I checked,
Worked for the Packers, won the Super Bowl.
If you score more than the other team, you're probably going to win.
Yeah.
So, bold strategy, Cotton.
Packers
See how
won
that
the Super
pans
Bowl
out.
when we were in high school.
They did.
Based
been a ways
entirely
back.
off of that.
Yep. So, all right, we got them flip-flop, but somewhat
similar.
close.
Those are the top 2 teams.
I think we both agree about the bottom feeders.
Yep.
No doubt.
Trash.
Yeah,
Trash.
pretty much. I think New Orleans is going to take a step back this year.
Kamara's old. Taysom Hill's
he's still playing. Who's their backup? Kendre Miller, is that right? Another bold call with these running backs. I think he's going to most rushing yards. I think Kamara.
You think
Father
that's the
Time's
guy
going to catch
for
up.
fantasy?
Sleeper. Yes, I do. I do.
Okay.
Which we'll get into that in another episode. But yeah, their O-line has really fell apart. I think they're bottom of the league now. Kendre Miller. There you go. They still got Jamal Williams. I do love Chris Olave. I do. I think a lot of this team hinges on, does Derek Carr get back to just being good Derek Carr? Like, not what he first was.
Was he ever really good, though?
He was. He got that big contract. He had a few years in Vegas. Really thought when he got Devontae, he was the better side of okay. Yeah. I'm not saying he's going to win you a Super Bowl. I don't think you see that Derek Carr.
High side Captain Kirk.
I think he made a few
Low
Pro Bowls.
Jameis Winston.
Yeah, maybe with a few less picks, because who can beat Jameis on that?
No one.
No one. Like I said, the thing I really thought when he went down there was he is pretty good at deep ball. You saw it with Devontae that one year they played together. I thought with Olave, I was like, that might be a good combo. Didn't really see it last year. Carr battled injuries.
Right, yeah.
I would feel better about it if the O-line wasn't terrible. And, you've got a aging quarterback.
There seems to be
that's a problem. That's a problem, And like I said, defensively, like they've fought the cap issue for years. Like they've really not added anything significant. They had Willie Gay, Chase Young. If Chase Young decides to play ball, that could be a big ad.
Yeah,
that depends.
Hey, they added my boy Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid, yeah, that was another guy.
Kool-Aid McKinstry, another guy that I wanted the Packers to grab. Turns out we just don't like Packers drafting strategy. Is like whatever we need, we're gonna take it in the 4th or 5th round.
Instead of quality, you focus on quantity.
Yeah, let's get 6 of them in the 5th.
Yeah, because it looks way cooler if you take a 6th-round guy and make him look like a 1st-round than you take a 1st-round talent.
Ted Thompson.
Bro, that's too easy. That's too easy. Come on. So, yeah.
All right.
I think. And they lost Jameis. Oh.
Well, that's fine.
We're talking about the. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. So, yeah, I've got them going under the 7.5. You agree? Under?
Yes, but barely.
Okay. Yeah, I think 6 and 10. That's where I was at, really.
I'll take them 7 and 10.
Or I'm sorry, bad math. 6 and 11.
Yeah,
I forget.
I'll take
them
7 and
10.
10.
All right. So now it comes to Gibbs's Carolina Panthers. I'm sorry, buddy. I think they still suck.
Somehow it's like a low total of 5.5. Why does that still seem like too many?
I agree. Well, because they won 2 games last year. That'll do it. Like Bryce Young, I don't think it's possible that he's as bad as he looked last year. I don't think. He just there really wasn't any signs for optimism. Granted, his best receiver was Adam Thielen. So,
old man Thielen too.
Yeah, this is a prime Adam Thielen. They had a terrible line too. Like they set him up.
Didn't they have a receiver get hurt pretty early on, like first or second week of the season? Or
we would need to call a friend Gibbs on this one. They did this offseason add Deontay Johnson. Oh my gosh, who was a kid out of South Carolina?
Xavier Legette?
There you go. Yep, they added Legette. He's a big body receiver. They complement each other pretty well. They've got weapons. They spent big too on the line. I lost my Panthers page here. Robert Hunt from the Dolphins
and Damian Lewis, and
they spent big. I don't know. From what I've looked into, they might have slightly overpaid, but they had to do something. When you get your franchise quarterback, you've got to build around him.
Well, you got to give him time to throw. To see if he can throw. Right now, he just looks like a panicked toddler.
Pretty much. It's almost like, when I was under Saban's team and I got a blackboard, I looked pretty good. And now that I'm actually facing, high caliber defenses, not great. So I think they'll be better.
I don't.
They won 2 games. I think there's no room to go, but I didn't say much better.
I think they'll win more games. I don't think they'll be better.
I mean, both the games they won last year, I think were like last-second field goals too. Like, I feel like they could have very easily went over the season. Yeah. We'd have to ask Gibbs on that. We'll have him on and his thoughts on this team. But who was Jonathan Brooks? That's the running back I was trying to think of. They added in the draft. Like, there are weapons there.
Okay.
I mean,
hey, they added Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So for 5 plays in the year, that's going to look pretty good.
He was healthy in Seattle once.
At one point in time. He was number 1 pick back in the day.
Yeah,
Houston. He had that clip, what was that Michigan running back? He lit up. Amazing. Hadn't translated. So I've got them under. You agree.
Yeah.
Though that pretty well wraps up the South.
Yeah, I think that wraps up the South, and we'll move back, and we'll come back for the North.
No, that pretty popular division, I think, around
King
here.
of the North.
We'll see about that.
Spoiler alert.
Yep. We'll be back.
right now we should be solid to go 13 minutes is our goal.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance. We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Pegel's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Pegel Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
All right, and we are back. I think we are. Here we go. North. This
Yes.
I have no
Here
idea
we-
where you're going with this.
Well, here's the thing.
I don't. I mean,
All right, so we're gonna start it off. Packers are going 17-0. They win the division, win the Super Bowl. All right, let's go to break.
that was my Chiefs line. Yeah, I did the same thing. I mean, hey, if they play like they did in the playoffs last year, up until like what was it, the second half, San Francisco, I might believe that. But I've got the Lions top of the division. I don't mean to steal your thunder here, but this is for Dan Campbell, man. Bringing the hammer back
Smashing
out.
that under?
I'm smashing that over.
Okay.
All the way. 10.5 is the line for them. I'm going to be bold on this one. I think they're going to go 12-5 at least. I might go 13-4. I haven't looked at the schedule, but this is a dang good team.
Well, it's going to tough to win that many games when you're losing twice to the Packers.
I knew that's where you were going to go. I don't want to take your thunder. This is your team. You've got them, I guess, winning the division?
I do.
Okay. Tell me why.
I do. Well, because the Packers are going to go 17-0. That's why. No, I think that
does trump 13-4.
The Packers added a lot to their team. They got a couple corners. They got them later. We didn't improve that much, but I think that Jordan Love makes that final step forward into becoming the next elite Green Bay Packer quarterback.
That I'm not going to disagree with. I just think the Lions are better. I was super impressed the second half of the year with Jordan Love. This makes sense. That was the first year he started, right? I know he's set for how many years? 3? 4?
Well, that's exactly how long that Rodgers sat behind Favre.
Right, and it worked out pretty good for him.
Yeah, 4 MVPs, Super Bowl.
There you go. His first year, actually, and I might be wrong on this, you're a Packers expert. Did he actually look better his first year than Rodgers' first year?
It depends if you count if his first full year or his... Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yes.
To get them to the playoffs, gosh dang, like I said, they fell apart against San Fran, or they'd have beat them. I mean, they looked amazing against Dallas. Like, just from that Chiefs game, end of the year, I told you, I was like, what happened? It was like he flipped a switch. Like, he lit us up. These throws he was making, too, I mean, he was putting it. Oh, yeah. It was one of those deals you're watching, you're like, all right, through it. As we had sneed down there, I'm like, pick. I was like, how do you do this?
It's just like, it's what Bears fans have seen for years, seeing just like, oh, that's the bad pass, that's a pass, and it just lands.
Yeah, runs around, throws something up, and it's like
the 90s.
Yep, exactly. And now I think they're going to have to watch it more because I agree with you. What is it, 9.5?
I'm going to take the over on that.
Oh, I figured.
I don't think they'll actually go 17-0.
Come on.
I think they'll win that division at 11-6.
Okay. I was thinking 10-7, 11. What'd they win last year? Was it 10? Is that right? Or are they not? Yeah, they won 10.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go. I agree with you on 11-6. I do.
I think they're going to go 11-6, and I think that the
What do you think of their
Lions
additions?
are going to go 10.
Okay, so what do you think about the pack additions though? Josh Jacobs came in.
Hopefully, we're going to get a healthy Christian Watson for the first time in like 3 years. And then, Romeo Dobbs missed a lot of time last year. It's not necessarily who we added in the draft. It's who we didn't have most of the season last year consistently because we weren't healthy.
Well, that's the end of the year. He got a lot of receivers
We
back.
added
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs,
yeah.
yes.
Well, Jalen Reed stepped up big for you guys toward the end of the year. Like he was, I think, a third-round pick out of Kentucky. Like,
Yeah,
it seemed
and
like
the thing
he
is, he should be our third wide receiver.
Yeah, well, that speaks to testament how deep you guys are there. Josh Jacobs taking over for Aaron Jones. What do you think of that fit?
Lateral movement. I don't think that it's going to be much of a difference. It actually may be even a slight downgrade.
Well, I was surprised because I thought A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones complement each other well because of Jones's pass-catching abilities. Dillon's the big bruiser, right? Jacobs, I think he's more between the tackles runner. Now, he's improved in the receiving game, I think, through the years in Vegas. But I just didn't know about that fit. And then you also draft another running back. Marshawn, what was his name?
Yeah, but we took him fairly late, didn't we?
Yeah, out of Cal. He's another Marshawn out of Cal. That's all you need to know. That works out pretty good.
That literally might have been our logic.
It's the fourth round, whatever, fifth round, whatever it was.
But circling back, we covered the Packers there, and a lot of people what they had. They lost David Bakhtiari, which is huge, but he was never healthy anyway.
Yeah.
But we didn't talk too much on what your lines
Oh,
right
I'm waiting.
there.
I was going to let you run with the pack because you got them first.
Oh, they're going to be great. They're going to win the division. But, tell me why they're not. Tell me why they're not.
That was great. Buddy, all right, it's hammer time for Dan Campbell. That guy gets me motivated from my couch to get my 32-year-old butt out there. Like, I'd run through a wall for this guy.
Yeah.
I love Dan Campbell, what he brings, what they have built around him. The only thing I'm not a fan of.
That is a juggernaut of an offense. I'll give you
that. It
It
is. They're making Jared Goff look good. And you know what my thoughts were on him. Goof. Sunshine Jr. there. Trevor Lawrence is Sunshine. Goff is Junior. Cali boy. All he has to be is a distributor. Amon-Ra St. Brown may be the most underrated receiver in the NFL, I think.
He's probably a top 10, maybe even a top 5 receiver in the NFL.
Oh, I think so. The depth of his game, like the routes he runs, possession receiver, also
he's not
can
even
get
Goff's
loose.
favorite target.
He's great.
Laporta.
Well, what's that? Laporta? Oh, I love Laporta. Yeah, Sam Laporta, man, he might be the best tight end in the NFL by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I love Travis Kelce. Move aside. This kid, the athleticism, off the charts. Jamison Williams, we've not seen the best of him. He complements St. Brown well because he's more of a deep vertical threat. St. Brown, well, he basically does everything else. And then the two-headed monster at running back. With David Montgomery, and I think Gibbs is going to take a huge step up this year.
I don't necessarily think that it's Gibbs taking a huge step up as much as Montgomery's finally gonna catch up to him. They pounded the ball with him so much last year, and I don't think it's sustainable.
That's the thing though. Gibbs towards the end of the year, you start to see more of him in play. I think they complement each other well and will actually help each other's longevity by taking, I think it'll be a 60-40, maybe 70-30 split.
A little bit of that dual-headed monster that they had with Mark Ingram and Kamara.
Absolutely, in New Orleans. Yep. And here's the key: I believe they have the best line in the NFL, offensive line. They keep Goff clean. It's top 3 at least. Their O-line is very impressive, grades out very well. They have all the pieces in place offensively, and here's the key: defense. They got exposed last year at the playoffs. Couldn't stop the run. McCaffrey ran all over him, gave up some deep plays. They went out, they got DJ Reader from Cincinnati. Shore up the interior. Him and Hutchinson, that's pretty formidable down low. Secondary, they made a huge move up in the draft, and they got Terrion Arnold out of Alabama. They brought in senior C.J. Garner-Johnson. They shored up the secondary. The Arnold pick was really cool because the draft was in Detroit. They traded up for him. He had fell. I'm like, that's going for it. Yeah. I love it. They, I think, are a more complete team than the Pack.
Came out and made that pick.
What's that?
I think Eminem came out and made that big.
Exactly. I mean, you seize the moment. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, but like it was a perfect moment for the city of Detroit. They've stunk for so long. They're back, and I just think they're a more complete team. Your pack's good. I've got them over as well.
All right.
No disrespect. But I don't. No total spoiler, but I've got the Lions going very far when we talk about Super Bowl picks.
Okay. I like it.
Uh-huh.
Can't wait to smash that heart. All right, so
I've been wrong before.
Who do you have next in that division?
I got the Bears. I got the Bears and the Vikings at the bottom. The Bears, well, it all depends on one guy, Caleb Williams. Mm-hmm. Is that where you're at with it? Because
I am.
They've built around him.
They drafted so well. They drafted him weapons. They didn't build around him necessarily, but they gave him every reason to have somewhere to throw the ball.
When they got to Dunze and they brought in Keenan Allen, Moore is still there. I mean, they have him, and O-line, they shored it up even the offseason. Like, I'm not saying it's great, but it's way better than anything Justin Fields had blocking for him. So they've done him right. Here's the key. How will he transition to the NFL game? The turnovers. The freelancing, like he's been compared to Mahomes so much it makes me sick.
When's the last time a number 1 pick quarterback has been successful?
Does Andrew Luck count? Jared Goff.
Sure. Was Andrew Luck successful first year as a rookie?
No. I mean, you're right. Most aren't because they walk into first
minus C.J. Stroud.
Oh yeah, no, he didn't go number 1. It was Bryce Young.
Yeah, okay, then what?
Bryce Young. Yeah, we're talking number 1. He should have. I'll give you that. But yeah, you're right. It's been a little. It doesn't always happen because they're always walking in crappy situations. That's where Williams, I think, is walking into for normal first-round pick circumstances a good one. Mm-hmm. My thing is with the Mahomes deal. Okay, he had also Andy Reid. And he got to sit behind Alex Smith for a whole year. Alex Smith wasn't like, no offense to Aaron Rodgers, but the guy that's like, this kid's here taking my job. Hold the clipboard. Get me water. Get away.
Yeah.
Alex Smith actually didn't. It's a testament to his character. And Mahomes gives him credit. Said, I wouldn't have been the quarterback I was from the start without him.
I think Peyton Manning kind of did that to Andrew Luck as well.
He was gone, actually. Manning went to Denver. That's how that year they drafted Luck.
For some reason, I thought they overlapped.
He would have probably been the same way, though. Most are.
Yeah.
But, it's just the circumstance. I see, like, the comparisons because the arm, the freelance ability. I get the comparisons. I don't think it's fair. I don't think when you compare anyone coming out of the draft to the best quarterback, arguably, in the league, is fair.
Yeah, I don't see it.
But
I don't see it. I think they'll improve.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to win 6 games.
Well, they won 7 last year with Fields and that mess.
Okay, they're not going to improve.
That was good. Okay. Some of your comebacks, you're like, I got nothing for them. All right, they're not. Never mind.
They're going to win 6 games.
I think they're going to go 9-8.
I didn't realize that they actually came back and won 7 last year.
Their defense won them a lot of games at the end of the year. They made a cool trade. They got Montez Sweat at the deadline, and it was like, why is a team not contending, acquiring a guy about to be free agent?
That being said, I still think they'll be better than the Vikings.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's why we've got them 3rd, and, Vikings 4th.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say, they traded for this guy, and they signed him. Like, locked him up. I like it when teams do that. They're creative. So I like what the Bears are doing. I think they're a year or 2 off from being a legit contender.
Okay.
The Vikings, so no J.J. McCarthy left.
I don't think J.J.'s going to be starting right out the gate.
I hope he doesn't, actually.
He shouldn't.
Sam Darnold. I don't know. I mean, see what they do in training camp. I think he's a very polished quarterback from what he did at Michigan. Granted, there he never had to carry the team. He might throw more.
I don't think he's got the team around him to be that polished quarterback, though. He's a polished quarterback that had weapons at all times.
Well, I mean, he's got Jefferson, he's got Addison, Hawkinson.
Yes.
And Aaron Jones.
Okay.
He's got some weapons.
Does he have a line?
Not great. No, you're right. That's why I think. We've also got Sam Darnold stepping in there. Ooh.
Does he have the arm strength to throw it to Jefferson?
I don't know that you have to have much arm strength to get Jefferson. I think he does most of the work. But fair point. Like, I don't mean to knock.
Well, that was one of the biggest things when Tyreek came to Miami. Can Tua get him the ball? Can he throw it deep enough?
Turns out if he gets open enough, he can get it in the vicinity. Exactly. And yeah, I agree.
Exactly. And
they honestly, they've got some talent there in Minnesota. I am gonna go under, and I do not feel good about it. I think 6-11 is pretty accurate.
I'm going to go under, and I feel great about it.
You feel great about it?
Yeah.
I like it. I like the confidence, man. You come out swinging on that. They defensively, they did lose. Well, for one, they lost Captain Kirk, so I've got to think they're going to take a step back. That's my boy.
Yeah. Yep.
They lost Daniel Hunter, too. He went to the Texans. They did draft well. They drafted that Dallas Turner guy that I want to go to Atlanta.
Yep.
He's looked pretty good.
Yep.
So they've got pieces there. I think they're a team on their eyes probably next year, the year after, because I do like J.J. McCarthy.
Okay.
But
a lot of weapons, high-octane offense. I don't think they got a team that's going to make them better. And I think they're going to be last in that division. Because I think it's pretty top-loaded.
I agree. I've got them last as well. So we're not that far apart. We're just the level of poopiness we're going to see from them.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I think that wraps up the North. A little bit of a controversial division there. There's your summary right there. Yep. And we'll catch you later for the West. There we go.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop. At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville.
Carson Auction Realty is the one-stop shop for all your real estate needs. With over 40 years in business, Carson Auction Realty is the only company in the area that offers public auctions, real estate brokerage, and certified appraisals. If you're considering selling your farm, home, or commercial property, give us a call, and we can assist you in every step of your real estate sale, from pricing your property correctly to properly marketing to find any potential buyers, and most importantly, selling property for top dollar. To contact us, go to our website, carsonauctionrealty.com, or call our office at 662-4911.
All right, welcome back. So we just finished our NFC North. We're now going to start out with the NFC West and round out our NFC. So
we've geographically done this right, man. East to west.
I mean, I think we matched up with our AFC from the week before.
There we go. Yeah, we remembered something. Who you got first?
We got to start out with the obvious.
Yeah,
the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, not the Cardinals? Oh, that's where I thought we were going. Oh,
no. We're going to go with the obvious. We're going to go with the 49ers. Their over-under is 11.5 games.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow I still think they get it.
I'm going to go under. Barely. I still think they win the division. They're a great team. They are.
So you're saying maybe like 11-6.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, I think that over-under. That and the Chiefs were only 11.5.
I'm going to give them 12-5.
I can't argue it. I really can't. I can see it either way. The only thing I'm going to say, and I love Brock Purdy. Honestly, as far as sentiment value, he's probably my favorite NFL quarterback. Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Look at what he's done. I don't even want to say game manager. I don't want to label him that because I feel like that's disrespectful to him.
And the thing is, we don't really have to say much about this team because it was basically just run it back.
The weapons it's stupid.
Run it back.
But do you think McCaffrey, once again, stays healthy all year? Maybe they've got some San Fran medical mojo going on there. You didn't see this health in Carolina.
We didn't, but he also, while he was getting plenty of touches in San Francisco, he wasn't getting every touch.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And they put him more in a position to succeed and not just have to run it into the line. They're Samuel, Kittle, Ayuk. First round, they took Ricky Pershaw out of Florida, who has apparently looked amazing in training camp. He's probably going to replace Ayuk in a year.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I'm saying, that's a big win total. You're relying on a lot of health, these guys coming back. And defensively, I think they're taking a step back.
And they added an astronaut. Josh Dobbs.
Oh! You lost me on that one. I was like, where are we going with this one?
No, I think Joshua Dobbs actually did have a NASA internship.
Did he really?
Yes.
Boy, I did not know that. I just know he looked freaking awesome last year. That Cardinals roster, he won games with them. That's all you got to say.
Exactly.
There you go. I like Josh Dobbs. I like those guys, those underrated, journeyman guys. Cinderella story. I like it.
Okay.
Now he's a backup. So.
Well, he's probably going to figure some stuff out. He's an astronaut.
He's a smart lad.
If he can figure out how to win some games, that'd be great.
I'll bet not many people have this analysis you do like that. That's good. I think defensively, though, their front seven, there's a lot of parts. I'm not even going to go through it. Like, there's like 5-6 guys they swapped out.
I'm looking at our loss sheet here, and all the people that you said that they lost, I don't even know who they are. Don't care.
Eric Armstead. He's pretty good. On the D-line. They lost Clint Farrell off the edge. Randy Gregory. I mean, Chase Young.
Who cares when you're scoring 40?
Once again, you score more points than them, you win. Get your logic. The other thing I was going to say is I think this is a very tough division. I really do. I think they're going to lose 1 or 2 games that they won last year.
Okay.
It's just going to turn around the other way. Fluky stuff happens.
Well,
It's
the thing
football.
last year, I think the Seahawks very much so underachieved. So
I
think
agree.
that this year will take a step forward.
Yep. Well, that's what. All right. So you're over. I'm under. Same ballpark. I actually had Seattle second this division. That's where I got them at. Because, like you said, I thought they underachieved. Their defense was horrendous.
This one right here, the Seattle's over 7.5 games, is probably the most confident I've been on almost any of these that they are going to hit over.
I got to say my most confident is probably the Texans, the 9.5 on our AFC one.
Okay.
And my Falcons, Captain Kirk. Yeah, there you go. Captain Kirk, man. It was 9.5. Watch
Whatever.
it. They're 1-10.
Okay.
I don't know because their defense was so atrocious last year. On offense, Geno Smith, basically just don't screw it up. Like with Metcalf, Lockett's still there. I will butcher his name. The kid out of Ohio State, JSN Smith, and that name.
Njigba?
Sure. I mean, they're loaded with weapons. Their O-line, not great, but get the ball out quick with what they've got. Backfield, I mean, they have Kenneth Walker. Healthy is amazing. Zach Charbonnet. They have a very nice combo.
They've got a dual-headed monster there.
They do.
I think that Kenneth Walker was hurt a good portion of the season last year.
Yeah, he missed.
And Charbonnet didn't even miss a beat.
No, he didn't.
It looked like he was not even a step back.
Yes, he's really not. I mean, I think he was a second, third-round pick as well. Like, they spent some draft capital. I'm going to tell you what, if Geno stuff falters with him, they got Sam Howell there now, man. I like Sam Howell out of North Carolina. Yeah, didn't look good in Washington.
In 17 games, I've also heard that the over-under on Pete Carroll's sticks of gum is actually at 200. So,
well, now that he's retired, I feel like it's probably going to go under. I think there's a lot of nervous walking on there. I'm not going to lie, I like the old guy, but I think he was getting outdated. I really do. They brought in, you have one of the worst defenses in football. So you go out and maybe hire one of the best defensive coordinators. Maybe that'll work. Mike McDonald coming over from Baltimore.
Yeah.
They didn't change all the parts out, but the concepts, the schemes he ran, I mean, he knows who he wants personnel-wise. Look at what he did in Baltimore. I'm banking on that, giving them a step up from last year.
Okay.
And I got them
see
9-8. I do. Like, even in a tough division like this, 9-8, they might even push 10 wins.
I think so too. I've got them right in that range as well, which is why I felt so confident they over at 7.5.
Yeah. You think they're undersold kind of by Vegas?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. And that may be a product of Vegas maybe thinks that they're the odd man out in a tough division.
Could be. As the Rams, I had them down as 8.5 where I found it on DraftKings. I actually went over. Don't feel good about it at all. I had them at 9-8 on there. They lost Aaron Donald. I mean, I think that is going to pay. I think that's going to be a bigger hole than Zebra.
And by same, I mean I don't feel good about it because it's not going to happen.
So, you're going under.
Yeah, I'm going to go under. I think they'll win 8. I think they'll win 8.
Okay. So we're differing, but not by much.
Yeah.
I was that originally, and then I got looking at their roster, and I was like, this is what it hinges on. Matthew Stafford is kept upright and healthy.
And Cooper Kupp.
He's aging. Well, even without him, with Puka Nacua, with their two-headed, they drafted Blake Corum out of Michigan. Him and Kyron Williams, that's a heck of a backfield.
Okay.
Their O-line's not bad. I think they're top 10-ish. They drafted well defensively. So I really think if Stafford, if he is healthy, I think 9-8, they might even go over that. But I don't feel very good about that.
All right. I like how you're keeping your feelings about their
Don't go
ownership.
there. Don't go there.
Oh, wait
you
for this.
had to open up a can of worms. I've tried to do that because I see the LA Rams. I'm like, I don't want to win a dang game. Like 0-17. Here it is. Maybe a win. Whatever. I can't stand Kroenke. YouTube, one of these days when I can compose myself better, there's going to be a special on Kroenke and my feelings on that man. Not today. So, that aside, you know what? Screw it. They're going under. You had to do that to me. You had to do that. LA Rams under. All because of Kroenke. Logic out the window. 8-9. And
I love every minute of it.
I hope it's worse.
I think they'll go 8-9. I think that I've got them under as well. The reason that I think the Arizona's going to pick up a couple more games than what they.
I'm still pissed you brought up Kroenke. I'm sorry. All right, refocus.
I think this is the year that Kyler Murray drops the PS3 remote and he decides to just start.
Yeah, but Call of Duty, man, I get the moves from that.
It doesn't matter if you're 6 foot tall, if you can throw it up in the air. Hey, Marvin Harris Jr. down there somewhere.
Sounds like the Chiefs of Tyreek. It's like, Tyreek's there somewhere. I just chuck it. Boom. He does have that ability. Actually, I think Harris definitely.
The last time that he was that. It took me a second. The last time that Kyler Murray was good, he had D-Hop.
Yeah, he did.
And
he did.
You know what? D-Hop down there somewhere
D-Hop
was
down
his
there
thing.
somewhere.
He's got Marvin Harris Jr. to do that now. We are back.
Is this like the close your eyes, F it, check it, boom, there you go.
Yep. Absolutely it is. They lost Marquise Brown, which was a speedy guy that could also.
I think he was ready to get out of there.
Yeah.
I think he kind of melded in, and I'm glad he's with the Chiefs
I don't think he
now.
ever wanted to be there.
I don't either. Well, I think he did when they paid him, and then it was like after a year or so, and Kyler didn't take the step up.
I actually thought Baltimore. paid him.
He came from Baltimore.
Okay,
to
gotcha.
Arizona, and now he's in Kansas City, thankfully. So, just imagine if Rashee Rice, didn't drive around like he did. That'd be quite the core. Ooh.
We're talking NFC, man.
Another day. But yeah, I mean, with Harrison, Trey McBride, amazing tight end, very talented. They've got some receiving depth. Zay Jones, they signed him the other day.
Okay.
Michael Wilson, he's
Zay
a big
Jones
body.
had some decent years in Oakland.
Yep, he did.
Or
yeah,
Vegas.
No, same thing. Yeah. The backfield, James Conner's still around, and they drafted Trey Benson. They drafted him. I mean, their offense has weapons. The O-line, also terrible. Kyler, you better decide to run some more. This team, I'll tell you what, you talk fantasy, this team, nail it, because their defense is terrible. I just think the defense, especially in this division, it's a recipe for disaster. You have a bad defense, bad O-line, one of the toughest divisions in football. I could see Kyler putting up some big numbers. That's why I said this is a fantasy team. I'd target this team.
If he can stay healthy, and
he's going to be throwing.
Watch some stupid film instead of playing Call of Duty.
Don't go all Jamarcus Russell and just,
well, he's not getting fat.
He might look at a little bit of film.
Because, I mean, your backup's Desmond Ridder, and, come on.
Well, we know what that did to the Falcons. That's trauma. That's football trauma, guys. You will wreck your draft over that. Oh, man. So, yeah, the Cardinals' bottom line is they could be exciting, fun to watch. Draft them in fantasy, but don't pick them in real life. So, we were both under on them, and I really think that about wraps up the West.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think that we pretty much said everything we need to say about that. As far as, we could probably trash Desmond Ridder for a couple more minutes. But, Lord knows after last season
I think everybody's done
it.
that. I do. So we'll go. We got Niners, 1, over, under, about the same ballpark, 11 wins.
I got them over. But
Seahawks, Rams. Seahawks, we both think over. Rams, we're both going under. Thank you for straightening me out.
You're welcome.
Cardinals under. And, that'll wrap up our whole NFC preview. Thank you, guys, if you've stayed around this long.
Absolutely. And don't forget to check out our YouTube.
Yes,
We're going to be doing some more stuff on there, especially when the NFL starts coming around.
We got big plans.
We got big plans for every week pick'ems and doing a couple YouTube exclusives that aren't just on TV. So check us out, Benchwarmers Basement Banter.
We're going to talk some fantasy, too, down the road. We got a wide variety. Football, it's great content. It's fun stuff. So check us out, Benchwarmers Basement Banner. Like, subscribe, all that stuff.